If you want just direct answer whether Sons of the Forest is worth getting, let's say in short, in one word, the answer is yes. It is a good game. It is a nice survival game, it's a fun game, especially if you're gonna play it with friends. But the simple answer won't fit all of you, because depending on who you are, you might be interested in specifics, not just gameplay wise, but whether it applies to you or not. So let me just give you another short answers, right to the point, in regards to what type of person you are. So if you're looking a game to play with friends and have some fun, and you don't care whether you want to play this game for years or not, then yes, this game is fun with friends. You're gonna enjoy it, you're gonna have a lot of fun. If you want the game to play alone, yes, this game is also fun as well, because yeah, you have an AI, even though AI is hilariously broken most of the time, it's still fun, and you might enjoy it a lot. But the biggest question is whether you're gonna enjoy this more than the first game, and that's what the main gripe with this game actually lies. You see, this game is better than Forest in most of the cases individually, but if you're gonna take all of the things all at once, I think it falls a little bit short. Story is not as deep, is not as fun, is not as interesting. Atmosphere is a bit less eerie if you ask me. The whole point of the Forest was that it's supposed to be like some type of survival with a horror element. Horror is here, but it's not as, well, scary if you ask me. And yeah, to be fair, it's not a good thing, even if you don't like horrors. And I feel like this game is kind of an attempt to make a better Forest, but it's kind of made almost the same thing, but a little bit worse. Little bit. But let me get into the details and explain what do I mean by that. So Sons of the Forest is actually the continuation, the direct sequel of the original Forest game. And yeah, don't worry, I'm not going to be giving you any story spoilers, even though there are not a lot of them, but still I'm not going to be giving you any of the story spoilers. So it's basically kind of like a crash land, or rather land on the island full of this cannibalistic creatures, people, and your goal is just to survive there. The whole point is that this entire island is covered by this forest, and there are actually a few different biomes, but the main biome is of course the forest biome. And the survival is the main aspect of the game. You need to go around and gather resources. This can be wood or stone or whatever it is, just like in any other survival games. And you need to build a shelter, get a food for yourself, and build the weaponry to protect yourself when cannibals eventually will attack. The differentiating factor of these games, of forest games, not just Sons of the Forest, but overall forest games, is that how you build and craft in this game. Crafting system here, it mainly relies on visual cues rather than on text cues. So it can be a little bit difficult for people to understand whatever the hell that you are doing, because you actually visually are combining a bunch of different items to create the new items. And if you ask me, I really like this system, but it can be a little bit difficult and challenging to understand for some people. Doesn't make it a bad thing though. Unique things like this make games different and make games better and move gaming forward. And this was actually the reason why I liked one of my favorite survival games, which was Astroneer. And when you start the game, you will immediately start feeling the key differentiating factors from the original Forest. In original Forest, you were just this crash landed victim and you were lost. You had absolutely nothing, while here you kind of don't. In this game, probably the biggest differentiating factor is that you have an active GPS. You actually have the map of the world, and you can actually see where you're going and see where you need to go, all the points of interest and things like that. Now, for the casual gamers, this is actually a fun thing, right? So you know exactly what you need to do, and you actually have some goals, and you are just not just left stranded on a beach and doing nothing and you don't know what to do. But the thing is that it actually kind of takes away from the mystery of the game. The Forest, original Forest, was mysterious because you didn't have things like that. You actually needed to go around and venture in a complete unknown, and sometimes in a complete darkness because of the day-night cycle, which you do have in this game as well. But this sense of exploration and finding all of those things made this game unique and completely different. Here, even though you have some of that, you don't have it enough here. The GPS system kind of breaks the game, and because you get it so early in the game, it kind of is not fun. I didn't enjoy it myself. I prefer to discover things like this myself, discovering all those caves and crevices and all those creatures and all those biomes and all those rivers and new building materials. This makes the game more rewarding for yourself and kind of maybe a little bit of replayability, because you can just go to different spots all the time. While you have a map, you kind of don't need to explore everything. You just don't. You know where you need to go, and because you remember every time you play, not just remember, you see every time you play where you need to go, you just go to those new places, and it's kind of takes away from the fun of the game. And another differentiating factor from the original Forest is that AI compatibility companion. If you're playing completely alone, this is a game changer for you because you have an AI companion who can assist you into a bunch of different things. He can gather resources for you and has some unique interactions and even help you building and defending. And this is actually game changing. I really like that aspect. Even though AI is kind of stupid, does a lot of things very unexpectedly, does not do things very well, has some pathing issues and things like that. But yeah, this is a normal thing with all of the AIs in all of the games. It's understandable. Not a good thing, but understandable. And I enjoyed this. It's a really good thing and really good part. It will give you some laughs, some really unique interactions, some unique things happening in all the different playthroughs. And I enjoyed this part of the game. And it's a good thing to have, especially if you're gonna play this alone, because yeah, even though the multiplayer is the funniest aspect, the best aspect of games like that, some people just don't have friends to play with or just want to play this game completely alone. And yep, you're gonna enjoy this regardless because of this AI companion. And the rest of the gameplay is kind of the same as you have from the 4, with some differences, of course, some different crafting recipes, some different items and things like that. But overall gameplay is kind of same. Game has a day-night cycle where during the day you need to go around to gather resources because you can actually see where you're going. And during the night, yep, it's complete darkness, and usually that's when the enemies will attack. And this is where the horror part of the game starts. And yeah, you can, and even though you can go and venture out in the darkness as well, in this game you kind of have also an ability to camp out outside of your base, and you quickly realize that you don't really need to build a complex base in the game, unlike in the forest, original forest, because you can actually camp out anywhere that you want. And because you have your map and you cannot really get lost, you don't really need to build a base as well. And this is the fact that I did not enjoy that much. Even though yeah, the game needs to stand out and be different from the original game, it kind of loses the charm of an original game. And for the other parts, the rest of the parts, the immersion, the graphics, the sound, this game is still top notch. It's still on the level of the forest and maybe even tad beyond that. The building is fun. Resource gathering, weirdly enough, is grindy but still fun, especially with your AI companion, and especially if you're gonna do this with friends. Combat is so clunky as hell. Yeah, this is not your typical Call of Duty or any shooter games like this. This game is incredibly janky and very clunky. And yeah, you have a lot of bugs, you have a lot of issues. And yeah, this is kind of thing that is normal for this game. It might not be normal for you, and if things like this bother you, if you don't want any type of any bug or any issue, yeah, this game is not for you. But a little bit sprinkled here and there, it's not really a big issue. This is not a broken game by any means, but the bugs are still there. But anything and everything can be forgiven if the price is right. So how much Sons of the Forest will actually cost you? Well, this is the full price $30 game. Yep, not $60 game, $30 game. But on a discount, you can get it on a sale, on a big sale, so you can get it for as low as just $10. And if you miss the sale, you can always get this game on an instant gaming as well for the lower prices. Taking all of those things into account, taking every factor, every disadvantage, every advantage, every price, is this game worth it? Yes, it is worth it. Even if you just enjoy the forest or the original forest game and you want something maybe a little bit of the same, maybe a little bit of a different thing, and you will feel like the original forest is still better game, this game is still worth getting. It's different enough to keep you going, and it's deep enough to keep you engaged for at least some time. This might not replace original forest completely for you, but you need to also understand that this game is still being updated over and over and over again, and there probably will be a lot of things added to the game. This is not as good, if you ask me, as a forest is, but it's very damn near close. If you want to take a number of the rating number, this game is perfect 8 to 8.5. It's a really good game. It's not a perfect game, really good game. And if you ask me, I'm gonna take a forest and rate it at 8.5 to 9, maybe 9.5. This doesn't make any of those games bad, doesn't make any of those games not worth playing. And if you find this game on a really good price, especially if you're gonna play it with friends, you're gonna absolutely enjoy the hell out. So yeah, go and get it, play it, and have fun. And this video is sponsored by channel's partner and supporter, Instant Gaming. If you want best games for the best prices all the time, all year round, without waiting for any sales, Instant Gaming is the way to go. You can find all types of games for all the different platforms, and most importantly, for the cheapest prices possible. And I also partner with Instant Gaming for epic game giveaway of your choice. So click the link in the description down below for your chance to win. Thanks to Instant Gaming for their support, and now let's get back to the video. And if you want my video about original forest, you can watch my video about that right here. And if you want an actual list of the best survival games, you can watch my entire list of 27 or maybe even more games right here as well. Don't forget to subscribe right here as well. This will be for Dave, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Take care.